right
please
into our
help me out.
draft.
Are these the bands that we have so far? It looks like yes. We've got some heavy hitters that Filmy has knocked out. Talked about that for me, Billy.
Yeah, and so we've got this Darius, Olaf, Swain, a lot of these really tanky bruisers, AD bruisers or AP bruisers, either way. Just getting those out of the fight, it might be good for these. If you've got something that you need to protect a backline for, you don't want that backline being taken over by these bruisers. A little bit on the bands from red side, you've got your Tristana, you've got your Tom Kench, a lot of these annoying pushers, or just uh, the absolute denial of just the zoning that Wei has as well.
Hmm.
Um, we can see here in the picks, we've got Victor and Ash on Durian Defenders and Misfortune from Phil Me.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can already see some cohesive some picks going on. Misfortune Jarvan, just an absolute classic of the Jarvan creating the ring and Misfortune laying an ult right on top of it. It's a tale as old as time since season one, and it keeps coming back for a good reason.
And yeah, I've had it happen to me so many times when I'm up
Mm.
against a Misfortune and Jarvan. Jarvan ults me and Misfortune ults, and I'm just like,
Life's pain. Yeah.
okay.
100%.
Yep. And looks like we've got Ari possibly into Victor in the mid lane. It's yet to be seen exactly where they are yet, but Misfortune and Ash is certainly a. Ash has a lot more of the DPS, but Misfortune a lot more bursty. So it'll be interesting to see what gets picked here on support for Durian Defenders.
Yeah, and we're seeing that Filmio is picking a much more flexible, like they have the movement options with the Ari
Mhm.
ultimate, with the Jarvans, and not so much the mobility with Victor Ash. And then to follow that pattern, Xin Zhao, although I like the Xin Zhao both being able to create that really early game pressure with some level
Mhm.
2, level 3 ganks. You can just go buff straight into a gank with Xin Zhao, and it will work. And also the ability to create space with the Xin Zhao ultimate, I think, is a good response into the Jarvan.
Oh yes. It as especially with a Misfortune ult, if Xin Zhao gets in there and just ults people away, and then he can be essentially immune to that ultimate because she's outside of his bubble. Or she starts to ult and he pushes her away, gets her to cancel it. Various different combinations and various different ways that you would be able to counter those different abilities. It's like,
100%. And now, yeah, now we're seeing the support bans coming in from both teams as neither support has been selected for the teams, and we hear productions everywhere moan as the Senna ban comes in, and it looks like that we're gonna have a pretty dynamic team comps coming in here. What bands would you like to see,
well,
Billy, out of this?
it looks like we are
Ooh.
getting that Rel ban most likely. What I would probably ban against this team is, like, they've got a lot of those tanks, they've got a lot of those bruisers. I would go for somebody who's a jungler or a just a high DPS, just to get that out of the way. But it looks like they're still going for those supports in this last ban phase. Yeah, from last game, those supports were making those plays. They were the
100%.
ones that were just absolutely dominating the scene as far as making or breaking the play.
Yeah.
They enabled their carries to do what they did.
Yeah, and red team is in a little bit of an awkward position, required to blind pick something, either their support or top lane, which are famously very counter pick lanes. There's the Aatrox that Juhadri and I were talking about before game one, and on Durian Defenders, no less. That is a very interesting blind pick to choose on
Yeah,
red floor.
I'm unfamiliar with the players from Durian Defenders, so I can't really say how well they would be able to play any of these champions,
Hmm.
but I have seen Aatrox carry games before. I have seen Aatrox absolutely lose games for their team. So it can
So
go either
true.
way.
Yeah. Wow, Jax and Shen as another pick. Honestly, a very interesting flex pick. There is a chance that we see uh, Jax go jungle and someone else go top lane. Okay, nope. We're
So
seeing
it looks
Leona
like it was a
instead.
potentially Shen support, but we've got Leona there now. But that tanky support being especially somebody who can lock people down for Misfortune. That looks to be what they're going for with this. And those are the supports that work great with Misfortune, is somebody who can engage, somebody who can lock down. With Shen, you've got his dash, you've got that taunt, and then he can, with his bubble, he can take all the
Ooh.
auto attacks he wants for a couple seconds.
Yeah, 100%. And you can kind of see the idyllic scenario with Leona
Mhm.
ulting long range, Jarvan able to respond on that into the Misfortune
Yes.
ulti. Now, games don't always last that way. I totally agree. I'm looking at the chat. Server Panda, you're absolutely true that they are cooking with Leona Misfortune, a very aggressive lane. But I do like the Renata Glask, the ability to lay down an aura of protection with that ulti to be able to CC
Hmm.
potentially 4 or 5 people in a team fight. Not necessarily going to get any kills from that, but that 1.5
Yeah.
seconds of CC is nothing to shake a stick at. Of course, what we're seeing on the screen right now is going to be them running through that pick ban again, just to make sure that it is in the client. Now that we've seen the champions,
Yep.
Billy, who are you giving it to just off the champ picks alone?
Off the champion picks, I would go with Filmy on this one,
Mm,
but there is still potential, especially with Renata Glask being able to counteract the entire engage from Filmy just with the ult, and it can possibly save their entire team from those heavy engages, from that Jax jumping in and just the combinations of CC from Filmy. Renata Glask can completely disengage that entire fight, and so you've got Renata Glask being able to do that. You've got Victor, who's able to get people to spread out. You don't
mm,
want to stay close together when Victor ults, otherwise your entire team is just going to go away one by one. Um, you've got Xin Zhao, who's able to uh, disperse the enemy team as well and get them to essentially not be all clustered together. They're not going to. So you're looking to disperse and take them out one by one if you're on Durian defenders, but if you're on Filmy, you're looking to bait out these counter engages and then collapse on them.
totally, 100%. And I think that something that we haven't talked a lot about, I think there is a lot of weight on top lane. Traditionally, an island, so to
Hmm.
speak, where not a lot of weight is put. But the potential scaling from Jax, I think your insight earlier on, I think Atrax has the ability to either make or break this game, because if Jax is able to
Hmm.
run away with the game, he will run away with the game. And it honestly doesn't matter what Durian Defenders does after that if Jax is allowed to run away. And so I like the aggressive picks on bot lane to allow Jarvan to either respond to
Hmm.
top lane if it's not going so well, or if top lane is going really well, to add the extra pressure on bot lane.
Yes, and that extra pressure on bot lane can certainly snowball with Misfortune, especially against a rather squishy bot lane here. We've got Ashe and Renata, and neither of them typically build a lot of hit points, so you're going to be looking for a lot of damage coming from this Misfortune, a lot of burst, and honestly, a I could see a lethality Misfortune coming from this, and just chaining that double up off of minions and taking out half of Ash's hit points from a single Q.
Yes. Yeah, it will not take a lot for Misfortune to pick up this game, like building that lethality and to
Hmm.
run away with it. I think you're absolutely right. And I do think that if Durian defenders can Durian defenders will win this game if they can stable out. If they can take all of this
Yes.
chaos that Filmy is looking to provide, and if they can hold their ground, then I think the attack speed inject that Renata Glask will work on many of these champions. I think
Mhm.
Filmy will have a difficult time if this game is relatively neutral at 20 minutes. Um,
Yes. And with Misfortune, if she gets hit by the Renata ult, there's a couple of her teammates that will be okay.
mhm.
We have Jax, who will probably be safe. We have Leona, who will probably be safe. But if Ari gets hit or if J4 gets hit, they're going to, unless J4 is building straight tank, they're going to be very susceptible to those auto attacks from Misfortune.
Yeah, 100%. And they're going to hurt. But I think all the more reason for to build things like lethality,
Yes.
so that her game is front heavy. As the game
Yes.
goes on, her being weaker later on is not going to matter if they're focusing on ults, if they're focusing on not getting a Renata Glass to ulti, and shifting that pressure to Jax.
Yes.
I think this game could go either way, but I think the game will be won if Filmy takes an advantage early. And I think Durian defenders have a strong way to win this if they can stabilize and make sure that Filmy doesn't run away with the game.
Yes. So if you're able to keep control of your team, keep control of your comms, it it'll have to be very well coordinated to be able to fight against that solid of a team,
Hmm.
and just the amount. Yeah, you could even have Ari running away with the game with the late
True.
game scaling, especially with how well her ability power scales on that. And so she could come in and easily clean up any team fight, and so you could engage with Misfortune and Leona and Jax and J4. Ari comes in late and just cleans up the entire team fight, and it could easily go either way if
Hmm.
played right.
100%. I think she's such a flexible pick here, and that's why I like the Jarvan Ari. Their roaming is going to try to take the stability that Durian defenders are trying to lay out and throw a wrench into that. I think if they
Yes.
Filmy, who has historically been very strong on the map, I think is going to make some really uncomfortable positions for Durian defenders who are probably feeling pretty confident after game one. Of course, we did not see that on stream. The bar disappearing means that we are about to go into the game. So, in the chat, would love to see who do you predict is going to win the game? Is it going to be Durian defenders in the red team or Filmy on the blue corner? Love to see those predictions going on as we are loading into the Rift right now. I asked you, Billy, on who you thought would win. I think that Filmy has probably got a really good shot as a
They have a
returning.
solid champ select, so
Oh, totally. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. I think we had an incredible game one, and I think we're gonna have an incredible game two.
absolutely, I certainly agree with that. I can already tell you that it is going to be in typical PLC fashion. We're going to have kills all around, and whether it's from one side or both sides, it is going to be messy, and
So true.
as it always is.
Mhm.
So here we're just about loaded in here, and we'll see how this game goes.
Yeah, I think as we've been saying, I think Filmy. The reason why I give it to Filmy is because PLC is a tournament of chaos, and I am biased to say that we will probably have more chaos, and Filmy has picked a team that says we thrive in chaos. Um, we are still loading into the game. Production tells us that they're resolving a couple things, and we are going to resolve those no problem. We are, I am just, now, talk to me about Victor versus Ari. I'm not so familiar with the Ari matchup. These are two champions that I don't play in mid lane as much. Are you familiar as much?
A little
with them
bit.
on top. Go for it.
Yes. So, all right. So looks like we are in game now. We can see here with that Victor Ari matchup that they're going to be trading a lot. It is going to be just a poke fest. They're going to be going back and forth all the time, as we were seeing at the very beginning there. And with Jax and Aatrox, Jax is able to get Aatrox to disengage with this, but just the ability that every lane matchup has, they're matched up quite equally, in
Yeah.
all honesty, and it's going to be coming down to these team fights in the late game here.
Just highlighting real quick, we did miss the beginning of this game in which Filmy was able to invade and get a kill onto the Aatrox, which is going to give J4 a little bit of a boost at the beginning of the game. We're seeing some big back and forth on the mid lane. Geo and Wazy already at half health at level 2.
And so, yeah, even with that half health, they can still. There's a lot of trading potential here. We can see that Wazy is winning these trades barely. He is spending a lot of mana, so I wouldn't necessarily call it winning the trades, but he is certainly putting that pressure on Ahri. And we have Aatrox here taking that stun from Jax, and Jax wanting to just disengage that.
Yeah, and 100%. And these early skirmishes are going to be a lot what we see with these big champions as they slug it out with each other. Notably, a lot of these slugfests and potions are still up for everyone except for Ahri, who is getting poked out and having.
Yeah, so that mid lane can go either direction. Looks like we've got Aatrox getting a good root and pull onto this Jax. Jax wanting to disengage that, using his potion to be able to get away. Downside of Jax into this matchup is you do have mana, and so you're not going to be able to sustain that lane quite as much. You have to conserve your resources. But with Aatrox, your resources cooldowns, and you can just keep comboing over and over onto this Jax and eventually bully him out of lane.
100%, and not to mention that you're healing a little bit out of it too, so your sustain is much better. Although the clock is ticking for that top lane, if Aatrox does not prevent Jax from scaling, he will scale.
Yes, and so that's going to be Aatrox's job this game. It looks like is keep Jax where he is, keep pushing top lane, keep Jax forced into top lane so he can't go anywhere else. Yeah, because as soon as Jax starts roaming, that's when the team fights start happening. That's where your team's weakness shows. But in the lane matchups, we've got we've got those matchups that are fairly equal. Leona jumping in with a root.
Oh my goodness, blowing them up right away. They're going to be chasing down the Renata Glass, who's going to be able to get out safely. Early kill towards Miss Fortune. Leona able to pick up that kill is not going to be what they want to see.
Yeah.
Big from Aatrox, going to be able to pull them back. Low health Jax is not what you want to see. He's going to have to recall after that one.
Yeah, he is going to have to recall, but it was a very good disengage here. If he can manage to keep this Aatrox off that tower, looks like a charm going onto Wazy in mid lane, managing to disengage that as well. Jax surprisingly keeping Aatrox off of his turret at such low hit points.
Despite a pseudo tower dive right there, he was able to hold them off just fine. Now, Aatrox does not have any sort of revive mechanic anymore, so a tower dive is certainly very dangerous for him, and so him not choosing to take that fight is probably a wise one.
We've got a gank from J4 in the mid lane, Ahri getting the charm, and the kill goes over to J4 to claim the feat of warfare.
Yeah, 3 kills on Filmy right away. This is the exact scenario we did not want to see for Durian defenders who are already starting to cause all that chaos.
And we've got a little bit of that poke from Renata coming in to kind of discourage Filmy from engaging too much. It looks to still be a very, very balanced matchup between Bacon Lips and Dire Spark here in the top lane. They seem to be fairly equally skilled, actually, with each other, and they're both learning to respect their lane matchup.
Which I think is a little bit dangerous, because if Aatrox, who is zoning him off the creeps, Going even is not what Aatrox wants. Now he is down a death, but it has 20 CS up on Jax.
Mhm.
But this kind of pressure is being even is not what he wants. He needs to win.
Yes. One way to win that lane is to keep your opponent from getting that CS, to keep them from getting that gold and getting the gold lead that way. He doesn't need the kills as long as he can get every minion wave. And Aatrox is a champion who can easily stay in lane for several minutes at a time just to keep things going and to keep somebody from going back.
Xin Zhao is waiting in that bush to try to see if he can get a cheeky gank off on Jax. Jax is jumping in, but Xin Zhao knows not to play his hand. Probably not going to be able to get anything off of this until the minions bounce back. So he's going to be recalling off of that.
Aatrox taking the turret gold. We've got a wall onto Wazy. Ahri going in for the kill, gets the ignite, gets the ultimate, gets the charm, barely makes it out with a little over 100 hit points. And that is 4 kills onto Filmy, while we do have 1 kill onto Durian defenders. Looks like Jax did go down in the top lane at the same time with that gank from Xin Zhao.
100%, and the objectives being taken over. It looks like a little bit of a fight coming on in the bot lane, able to slam them together, but the ADCs continue to trade. You can't pull them apart. They are going to shoot each other as the grubs are going to the Durian defenders, and Dragon looks like it will go to Filmy.
So it looks to be an objective trade at this point. No real gold lead on either side, but with the grubs, you could easily have Aatrox split pushing top lane all game. He will easily be able to run away with that and keep Jax suppressed enough to keep him down. But at the same time, with the power from the dragon, and which dragon was it? Did you see?
I believe it was Cloud. I could be wrong though.
But with that dragon, that bot lane and mid lane get the extra power, being able to push that out. And looks like we've got a little bit more trading here in the top lane. Aatrox wanting to punish Jax for staying in lane while he went back.
Yeah, and Ashe getting really, really low here. It looks like there might be some action going on top lane. Xin Zhao spacing, going to be standing on a ward though, so not too much action here. This is very unusual for a PLC game. A nice, quiet farm fest. We do have a little bit of an advantage going to Filmy, but Filmy is using that advantage by keeping things calm, by maintaining their gold advantage, which, as the graph shows, is not that much of a gold advantage, but it looks like that we're going to have a pretty low kill 10 minutes.
At 10 minutes in, 5 kills, that certainly is low for PLC.
Yes.
That'd be high for pro play, but that's low
So
for
true.
PLC.
Yeah, and I think it kind of it speaks a little bit to the skills of these players to be able to not just throw themselves away if there's a losing scenario. That they're able to go in and to kind of slow it down if they're in a losing position. 3 people.
It looks like we have Miss Fortune and Leona taking 1 more turret plate before the plates go down here. They're hoping to get that up. Looks like they've got about
going up. At least going. The ulti coming out for Renata Glass. Leona gets a big stun on these people. They're still going in. Leona, a big ulti from Miss Fortune, but she gets knocked out of it. Gets the kill on the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao following it up. Jumping back in on the Ashe. Ashe able to go down with the response from Jarvan. Jarvan ulting, but the Ahri is also responding to all this. Gonna be able to take out Renata Glass. J4 deciding to flag drag back in and they're able to get out unpunished. And good response from the bot lane here. Ahri going still has 1 charge of the ultimate. Able to prevent a ton of damage being done from the tower. A big swing on the team fight.
Yeah, although it certainly went the way that I said it was going to, with Miss Fortune ults and Xin Zhao dives in to cancel her ult. And
100%.
so, easily able to discourage that and keeping the gold lead exactly where it is, not letting them take it any further than they already are. And Jax taking some more turret, or getting some more turret plates taken from him by Aatrox in the top lane there. Looks like we do have a lot of damage going on to Ashe from this Ahri.
Response from the Leona is going to be able to come in. Flag and Drag comes in from the J4 and is able to take out Ashe, who is already really low. Teleport comes in from Aatrox, who is going to be able to knock him around. J4 getting the shutdown gold to Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao has become a little bit of a menace. Aatrox is continuing to push this lane and being able to threaten those champions. Aatrox is a tough guy right now.
Yes, so would you say that it's a good call right now for Aatrox to come mid lane and leave his tower open for Jax on this?
It's tough because getting that shutdown gold was very big, but I think Jax is quietly scaling.
Looks like we got
there.
Leona jumping in, and looks
Huge
like
stun on
Jax
that. Takes a
getting
ton of
stunned
turret
under
shots.
tower. Lava Slide getting the kill on that. That Ashe arrow, absolutely perfect. Ahri getting the kill onto Renata Glask in the mid lane, and looks like Jax matching up with Miss Fortune in the bot lane and keeping her suppressed. But, you know, taking tower top lane to lose a tower
Another
mid
Flag
lane.
and Drag comes in. He's going to be able to lock them both under tower. Ashe is taking a bunch of punishment. So is Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao trying to turn it around. Ashe wailing away. T1 XO King, credit where credit's due with that ultimate earlier in the game and being able to hold her ground and to be able to push away Jarvan so that she can continue pushing. Leona going to be responding to that though.
Yes, and you know that it was a very good play on the side of J4 there, just keeping them under turret. They didn't want to attack him because if they did that, they're under tower. They're going to just take tower shots, and then it would have been both of them that died instead of just the one, instead of just Xin Zhao.
100%, and a lot of gold coming in here from the tower plates this game.
Yes.
Only one plate each from the top lane so far. Talk to me about
And
that.
looks like plates have fallen now as Herald is about to spawn here. We've got a dragon in the bot side, and Leona clearing some wards, clearing that vision, making sure that they have that vision advantage, which does matter. The vision advantage does matter. Lava
Xin
Slide
Zhao
going in.
Yeah.
Dire Spark as well.
The Ashe arrow hits the Leona. It looks like they will respond to this. Xin Zhao doing some poking and be able to knock down Leona really quick. Leona not too tanky at this stage of the game yet. Looks like they will be able to take Dragon off of that, and a kill top lane is going to take down the top tower as well. Things looking pretty good for the Journey defenders.
Yes, I think that they're going to be able to get Dragon off of this play, especially with their jungler up. Looks like they do, but that Ashe arrow being able to start a chain of 4.5 seconds of crowd control is what I counted, and that you get that Ashe arrow into the Victor stun, and it's and then there was a knock up in there from Aatrox as well, or not Aatrox, but from Xin Zhao with his 3-hit knock up, and you know, Leona just not being able to do anything during that
100%.
fight.
Now, looking at the kill spread, though, big charm from Ahri, going to be able to bring in the Jarvan. We got the W coming out for Renata to keep them alive, but they're able to respond back and kill the Jarvan from it. Continue to fight. Leona goes in and able to take out the Renata Glask, who's too squishy to be able to survive all this. Ahri trying to do as much damage as she can, trying to ulti out of there. Really low health. Looks like that we will maybe Jarvan or Xin Zhao hanging on by a thread. And it looks like we will be able to take out Aatrox as well. Victor able to hold the tower at bay, but a very bloody team fight right there.
Yes. Yeah, that was 4-1. J4 being the only one going down, as he's a heavy engage, but the ultimate from
Ashe arrow
Miss Fortune there, and the cleanse.
Very,
my
very good
goodness,
response cleanse.
That was a perfectly timed cleanse to be able to get away from that, and Ahri coming in here to punish Wazy for following up on that, and
Gets the thumbs up and everything.
Wazy just absolutely deleted. But yes, honor your enemies there with that thumbs up. We love to see it here.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the kill spread for Filmy. 7-0 on the Ahri, 4-2 for
Yes.
the Jarvan. I think it's pretty scary that Filmy has such a dominating mid lane.
Yes, and while Jax is being suppressed top lane by Aatrox, the rest of his team is taking it away from there. And so,
Gonna
Aatrox
be
is being
stancing up for
forced to
another team fight
respond to
here.
these team fights.
Yeah, Aatrox is kind of caught in a different spot, but that does not matter because he's able to push forward, being as confident as he is with enough of a lead. It does not take a lot for an Aatrox to run over a team fight like he is. So blue team
Mhm.
able to back off and respect it.
Yes, and with this Aatrox as well, he's definitely got a gold lead over a 2,500 gold lead over this Jax, uh, and he's got the largest gold lead in the game. But that's only so much if you have to stay top lane to keep Jax suppressed, because Jax will scale in the late game, and then will be an absolute problem for his entire team.
Yeah, and I want to take note of how close the gold is, even though the kill difference is
Yes.
rather large. That they're able to stay close together again, showing the skills of both teams.
Yes, and the in the bot lane there it's fairly even
Mm.
across the board relatively. Nobody has a full item up on anyone else except for maybe Aatrox. Uh, but those gold leads will start to make a difference here. But you know, would you say a general team wide gold lead would be better than funneling it onto a specific champion or a specific carry, or do you think funneling it onto a carry is best, and having that gold onto somebody who can carry your game?
I think it's a tough sell either way. I think in this case, so Aatrox might walk into a Leona. I think Aatrox will be able to pull it off of this one. Leona able to stop away. Going on to Ari in the bot lane, able to get a big CC, gets her under the lane. That's 1,000 gold inject into the Durian defenders. That is not what Ari wanted to get caught doing. Uh,
That is a huge amount of gold for Ashe, and she
Another
is going
engage
to
onto
make use of it.
Renata Glask over the wall. Misfortune all coming out. Oh my goodness, they wanted her dead.
I mean, you get Renata Glask out of the fight, and you can win pretty much any team fight at that point with this team.
100%. And to answer your question from before, I think getting your gold on a carry is fine as long as they don't get those shutdowns, right? That's a lot of pressure.
Hmm.
Now, Ari is a good person to have all that gold on, but as we saw right there, 1,000 gold back into the Durian defenders. I think that they're holding their own just fine. Um,
Yeah, they're certainly doing quite well for the comp that they're matched up against,
hmm.
and looks like we've got set up here for Dragon coming in. Uh, Looks like Xinjiao wanting to initiate on that Dragon,
Teleport coming
pull
in
the
for the blue
fight
team.
into them here. Dire Spark teleporting into the bot lane.
And they're going in on the Jax, and they're starting the team fight, able to really whittle down the Jax, who's struggling to get away. There seems to be a counter engage on the backside. Aatrox ulting to get that movement speed and to take out the Jax. Blue team is pulled apart as they get the death ball of the Durian defenders, just running after one after the other. Filmy able to kind of pull away the aggro to make sure that another person doesn't go down, but this will probably be a dragon for the red team unless Filmy is able to pick off a person, which does not look likely from the dense powerhouse. Ash Arrow coming in does miss all the champions.
But it was a great zoning tool right there to keep them
100%.
off the Dragon.
Fight continues as Aatrox is able to pull in other people. Xinjiao going on the carry. Absolute chaos is a lot of champions just taken down. Filmy really struggling to keep cohesion there as this terrifying Aatrox is just slamming into these champions and really taking them apart. Aatrox doing his job of taking a lead early and really creating a presence on the map.
Yeah, as I said, they can make or break a game, and
Yeah.
Aatrox being your team's carry certainly makes a difference. They may not be the 80 carry like Ashe, but Ashe being more of that anti-tank tool, and Aatrox being able to dive into the enemy team and take out all the squishy targets that they have.
Aatrox just running into the fray, not scared of this Jax at all, who is trying to prevent them from getting Akshan, and Jax just not having the power yet, and is able to is falling down. Charm lands on Aatrox. It is not enough. They take Akshan.
Yeah, getting that
Otacon.
Otacon, yes,
My
Otacon,
apologies.
and Ari only able to do so much against that Aatrox because if she gets caught, she is dead.
Mhm.
A, they have enough. There's enough crowd control on the side of Durian defenders that if Ari gets caught out, she's caught out, she's dead. So she wants to stay away from that fight as much as possible and kind of poke everyone down, try and get a pick onto one of the champions. But if it's Aatrox, he's got enough tank there to be able to sustain it.
And as we were talking about early in the game, it looks like a big fight. Miss Fortune catching Aatrox, but Aatrox is just going to walk away, or at least attempt to, turning around to try to see if he can survive, but his health is going down too far. Leona doing a great job keeping him off, able to knock him down. Xin Zhao, unfortunately, trying to re-engage, but does get the kill on Miss Fortune. That's surprising. As the rest of the red team is able to come up during defenders, given going to be giving a lot of speed and a lot of attack speed to the Xin Zhao, who is making sure to pin down the Leona. Leona does go down. Jarvan now found in the middle of the three of them, not having an enjoyable time. Durian Defenders is turning this game around. As we said, if they could get to the 20-minute mark, they would be able to pull it around, which is not great for my filmy prediction at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, our previous champions being, or one of our previous champions being filmy, and just being bullied, so to speak, by Durian defenders here. Looks like they are getting into their late game scaling with their champions. Aatrox doing an amazing job at keeping Jax down and keeping him from scaling. Jax only has one item right now. That's a Trinity Force. While it is a huge item for him, looks like he almost has his second with, it looks to be like a Blade of the Rune King that he is building. But, still being an entire item down from Aatrox, it's certainly going to be difficult to pick that up and to get back into laning or even fighting with his team.
Yeah, and the level of confidence that Durian Defenders has in these engages to just like cause the substance of the team fight to devolve from filmy is been a story on its own.
Yes, and we once again, an Aatrox can make or break a game.
Yeah,
it looks like he is making this game.
Yeah.
And so, getting the gold funneled onto the right person. That's what my opinion is. Get your gold funneled onto the right person. It doesn't matter.
Oh, big engage goes with the Jarvan over the wall. Sorry to interrupt, but oh my goodness, and not class. They hate that champion. They want her dead. Deleted. Big Miss Fortune ult coming in, does like absolutely no damage to the Xin Zhao, who just takes it like a pro, able to take out Ashe on the backside, and filmy is a crazy good engage on this champion. Aatrox trying to do his thing, but is taken down by just the sheer numbers of the people alone. Viktor trying to run away, but this Jax is known for his ability to catch up, and as he causes time, a big flash forward from the Leona, and is able to take out. Wow.
That is an ace for filmy. Certainly, if they can get rid of one or two champions in those fights without losing any of their own, or maybe losing one of their own, they can easily take it away from there. Looks like they are getting Baron here, almost uncontested. Renata Glass is back up, but I don't believe that she will be able to get there in time to be able to counteract that Baron.
Yeah, what a swingy game.
Yes, it is going back and forth all over the place. We love to see it. Looks like we are well over a kill a minute now, as it is starting to pick up. 24 to 18 in 26 minutes. And it looks like we do have Durian Defenders here going to the Dragon. Ari going in, setting up vision, hoping that her team can come in from that Baron play, but great call from Durian Defenders to be able to...
They're pushing them away. It does look like the red team was able to secure the Dragon, but it looks like the fight is going to be coming on. Just absolutely destroying the Ashe who goes down there. The team fight, Miss Fortune trying to do what she can, but is just dying to the Viktor ult. As Leona is trying to run away. These team fights are so swingy. to go either way. The
Mm.
gold is just going one team into the next team into the one team, and here we are once again with big team fight and a lot of money.
It looks like we did get a death cap on to Geo here on Ari, and
Mm,
that is going to be a huge power spike for her. And so, the gold lead being on the side of Phil Me from that previous fight, they managed to get that gold lead back, and but it can only go so far. They need to keep winning these team fights if they hope to win this game, as Durian Defenders is starting to push in all of these lanes. They're starting to push in the getting the towers. And
yeah,
I apologize if I'm repeating myself a little bit, but
you're all good.
the
I,
yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to say, like, look at how strong these junglers' presence are. 10
Yes.
and 3 on Lava Slide. I don't think that we have talked enough about him, or Almond Milk 9 and 4 for the Jarvan. I think they are absolutely dictating the pace, are fighting the right objectives, and are making sure to keep
Yes.
their team relevant, even when both teams seem in a dark place.
Yeah, and I would say that taking Dragon, going for Dragon at that point in the game and forcing a team fight instead of allowing Filmy to push lanes with that Baron buff, that was definitely the right call. And just being, I would say that it was certainly the right call, being able to keep them off of your main objectives, keep them from pushing while you can keep your lanes pushed in. And now that there's no more Baron buff, being able to take that away and push your lanes in further. And the Aatrox here just still going by a landslide. He no longer has a full item lead, but he is still certainly a menace, and you don't want to see him showing up in those team fights on your back line.
100%. And he has that flexibility. I want to give it Bacon Lips 999 doing a very impressive showing in this game so far, to just be the terror that Aatrox is. Wonderful showing by him so far. The confidence that he has shown, not enough to run over every single team fight, but certainly the ones that he does,
Yes.
he runs away with it.
Yes, and they're keeping it fairly even across the board here. Filmy with a slight gold lead, but Bacon Lips being his team's carry here, certainly taking it away. We've got Ari pushing in mid lane. It looks to be a fairly tame portion of the game here. A little bit of trading here and there, but we're at the point in the game where you want to be forcing fights. You want to be fighting the other team. You want to have those death timers working in your favor, especially now that we're at about 30 minutes here. Those death timers are starting to get long. So you want to start making picks. You want to start getting those team fights. You don't want to be farming anymore at this
Aatrox
point.
going in on the Jax from the bush here. Jax is going to be a little bit more powerful than Aatrox is at first realizing, but Jax wisely flashing out of there, avoiding some extra CC. But I agree, but I also think that the caution that both teams are showing, respecting those death timers, absolutely. One person dying could mean the end of the match if it's in the wrong spot. So
Yes.
both teams respecting it, especially with how close the numbers are, 100%. We could be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, it looks like we do have Victor here in the bot lane, and spotted out by Phil Me. Looks like he should be able to get away here with it, and barely able to get away before the bullet rain from Misfortune, and just the he was pushing, but almost got caught out.
Looks like we might be stancing up for a big team fight. I gotta say, I love that KFC Superfan is using the Grillmaster Leona skin. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
But it looks like Dragon will be up, spawning in 5 seconds. Now, Filmy is already in position to try to make sure that they can respond to this. But it doesn't look like they're going to be going for it. The red team Durian Defender is going to be going in. It looks like Jarvan is going to use the flag and drag to start this off. Big ulti coming in, but the team is too far away. Renata ulti hitting all the people. Jarvan in the fourth is able to heal a ton, but it ultimately does not matter. CC knocks out Miss Fortune from her ultimate, going to be falling from that. Red team's going to be picking up a lot of from this, and the final member falls, and the Dragon is going to go to the side of Durian Affair. Look at the size of that Victor ult.
Yeah, you get them clumped up together like that, and the Renata ult plus the Victor ult, it just carries away. You get the Dragon, you get the gold lead taken away, and you can start to push and make plays. Looks like they are wanting to go over to Baron to possibly set up for it. They might be able to take this and get some pushing power with this. Renata being very low, so she wants to be very cautious around this. But with the death timers at the point that they are in the game, this is a great spot for them to take Baron and to hopefully push in some lanes with it.
100%. And I think getting those Baron buffs are going to be very strong. Is going to be very tough for Filmy to be able to respond to. This game is going back and forth and back and forth. You can see from the gold graph that it looks like the Grand Canyon with the amount of times that they've brought it back, both teams. However, the thing that we need to talk about, Dragon Soul, now on the side of Durian defenders.
So they have that Dragon Soul. It is Earth Soul. So being able to have that that extra tank, that extra survivability on their entire team, certainly a huge benefit for Aatrox, as he's just going to be able to survive any engage. Xin Zhao getting caught out, or not Xin Zhao getting caught out, but J4 almost getting caught out. He's able to flag and drag away. Ahri able to discourage any chasing against her. Looks like Aatrox going 1v1 against Miss Fortune and taking that mid in the bot lane, and going back to pushing his lane. Looks like they are making good use of that Baron buff. They had the first minute of it gone, but they still have a minute and a half
engage on the Ahri. Leona on the counter response to make sure to knock them away. Renata ult to make sure to keep them in there, but J4 gonna get pinned under the tower. Gonna be big damage coming out. Jack's able to get a kill, but then getting killed himself. Leona, this tower does not mean anything to these Baron buff powered up players. Leona able to re-engage onto the J4 who knocks them out, and suddenly we are at the Nexus turrets. Going to be fighting out another Ashel coming out, immediately blowing up Ahri, and I think that we might have the end of this game. Aatrox just ulting in for the show of it. Miss Fortune trying to ult, but it does not matter. The game is over, and Durian defenders take it.